Welcome to the 8th episode of Weekend Meetup. I'm Bill Hunt. Larry Eberhard is off screen running the cameras and the software. Larry and I are very pleased that with us tonight is our co-worker, Hannah Pinkerton. Hannah's going to tell us about her pet sitting business and also about the Maryland Dog Fest that will be held in Charles County, March 8th and 9th. Hannah, thank you for helping us with this broadcast. You are the owner and operator of Hannah's Pet Sitting and Homemade Pet Supplies. Could you tell us a little bit about your business?
Sure, and thank you, Bill and Larry, for having me. I'm very happy to be here today. The biggest part of my business is providing pet sitting services to Southern Maryland. I provide dog walks, daily visits, multiple daily visits, and overnight visits for a variety of pets, from small animals like rodents and reptiles, to cats and dogs, to larger livestock like horses, donkeys, and sheep. The second part of my business is designing and producing homemade pet supplies like grain-free chicken jerky, cat and dog treats, personalized fleece pet blankets, and orthopedic pet airbeds.
What is the most unusual pet you've ever had as a client?
I'd have to say the most unusual pet was a female cockatoo named Bambi. She had a very interesting personality. She liked to dip her banana slices in sunflower seeds before she ate them. She liked to drink out of the kitchen sink, and she liked to get her feet cleaned. And every night before bed, she has to go outside and say goodnight to her bird friends. So she was a very interesting pet to care for. I've also cared for some interesting situations. I had one client who has 2 dogs and 3 cats, and she likes her 2 dogs to be walked and swam with in Solomon's every morning. I've also helped a client out with weekly poop scooping services for her 2 cats and 2 dogs while she was recovering from a knee surgery. And I've also offered extended house sitting services.
Is there a kind of pet that you would not accept? I think you have a fairly large and inclusive list there, but perhaps there's some kind that you just would say no to when they call on the phone.
Sure, I think it's all about being able to provide the best care that the pet needs. So if I felt I wasn't able to provide adequate or sufficient care for a pet, then I would consider turning the client away. However, I have cared for a variety of unusual situations, unusual personalities, difficult care routines, and usually I'm able to work with the customer and with the pet and usually able to accommodate those situations. However, there are certain situations I wouldn't feel comfortable with. For example, a puppy who needs very frequent bathroom visits while he's potty training, or a pet who has so much separation anxiety that when you try to contain them while the owner is away, they may potentially injure themselves or the owner's property, in which case I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, or an overly aggressive pet. However, in most situations I am able to work with the client. If I'm not, I'll recommend an alternative pet professional to assist them.
That sounds great. What got you interested in the professional pet service industry?
Well, I've owned my own business, Hannah's Pet Sitting and Homemade Pet Supplies, for 2 years now. Prior to that, I worked at a local pet, dog, and cat boarding facility for about 7 years, so I've been in the industry for 9 years. What really got me started was when I was a little girl. I was born on a farm here in Leonardtown, Maryland. Grew up with a variety of animals like livestock, sheep, and alpacas, donkeys, and even more, and a variety of pets as well. So I've been comfortable with animals since a very young age. And as soon as I left the pet boarding facility is when I opened up Hannah's Pet Sitting and Homemade Pet Supplies.
Is there any special training or any certificates that are necessary to become a professional pet sitter?
At this time, there's no universally accepted pet sitter certification. However, you are required to have insurance, liability insurance, as well as a home occupation permit. I'm also licensed, insured, and bonded, and I'm a member of Southern Maryland Association of Pet Professionals, Pet Sitters International, and National Association of Professional Pet Sitters, where I am I'm enrolled in a certification program for pet sitters currently.
Tell us more about the Southern Maryland Association of Pet Professionals.
Southern Maryland Association of Pet Professionals was founded in 2007 as Southern Maryland Association of Professional Pet Sitters. Since January 1st, 2014, we've been transitioning to incorporate other pet professional services such as trainers, pet sitters, pet boarding services, veterinarians, pet groomers, and a variety of others with the intention of networking and also being able to provide referrals for our clients for those pet professionals that we feel have a high quality of care and we can highly recommend.
And is there a website you can direct people to?
Certainly. The website is southernmarylandpetpros.org, SOMDpetpros.org, and we are hoping to be incorporating new businesses of other pet professional industry as early as July 1st, 2014.
Well, what can you tell us about the Maryland Dog Fest that's coming up in Charles County?
That's going to be a great weekend event. It's on March 8th and 9th, 2014. Saturday, March 8th, they will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the same hours on Sunday. It's the third annual Maryland Dog Fest at Charles County Fairgrounds in La Plata. And it's a statewide festival. There's going to be a lot of fun activities going on, like pet adoptions, pet and owner lookalike contest, weight pool, and a variety of others, as well as merchandise for sale. So you should definitely come and check it out. It's $10 entrance for adults, $5 for children, and dogs can enter for free, and parking is free as well.
I understand your business gives a portion of the profits from your pet supply sales to care for a feral cat colony in Leonardtown. Can you tell us more about your colony?
Sure. So feral cats are different from stray cats in that stray cats have had exposure to human contact at some point during their life. Feral cats either have never had exposure to human contact or it's been so long since the exposure that they're just very afraid of humans. So it's important to recognize the difference between strays and between feral cats. The feral colony I maintain is in Leonardtown. I've been maintaining it for a little over a year now. I believe it has approximately 10 adults, just slightly more females than males. What I do to maintain it is I feed and water them on a daily basis. I provide shelter, and on a regular basis, I trap them and take them to the vet. At the vet, they're vaccinated and spayed or neutered and then returned to the colony. That helps keep the colony healthy and keeps the population under control.
What's one piece of wisdom you've learned in your years in the professional pet care industry that you would like to share with other pet owners?
I think the most important takeaway that I've learned from working with a variety of pets, a variety of ages, and quite a few animals over the years is the importance of pet nutrition in their overall health and well-being. There's a lot that goes into pet nutrition, and I think one thing we can do is we can look at the nutritional information ingredients list on the back of the packaging of your pet food. Make sure you know what all those ingredients are, and if there's something that you're not sure of, try researching it and finding out if it is a species-appropriate food. Also, I recommend that you look into a variety of pet food review websites, not just the websites where people review products they purchase out of their own personal anecdotes, but those that are run by the individuals with a background in pet nutrition. Look at a couple of different websites, review the information, make sure you feel comfortable with what you're feeding your pet because it really plays into a lot of aspects of their overall health and well-being.
Well, thank you, Hannah, for not just being a guest, but our first guest here on Weekend Meetups and describing what you do when you're not in the office Monday through Friday. Larry's going to put back up the shot. There you go, the Maryland Dog Fest, which sounds like an interesting Southern Maryland event for people who like pets, especially dogs. When you go to the website, you will see that there will be nearly 24 rescue organizations that will have dogs there available for adoption. Last year, over 150 dogs were adopted at the second annual Dog Festival, and so they're hoping to get more dogs placed this year. Hannah's going to have a booth at the Dog Fest, so go by and tell her that you learned about the Dog Fest from this broadcast.
And if you do, I'll give you a 10% discount on your next pet sitting reservation or pet supplies purchase from me.
And Hannah, I have just one more question that I thought of while listening to your description of the supplies that you're able to make. You talked about orthopedic pet airbeds, and that got me wondering, does anyone make water beds for fish?
That's a good question, Bill.
Well, we plan to be back next Saturday, March 8th. This is Bill Hunt for Larry Eberhard and Hannah Pinkerton saying thank you very much for watching.